Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Georgiman and I'm your friendly neighborhood anime and manga fan. I love all things anime and all things manga, and I'm here today to talk about Berserk chapter 377. So, what did I think about this week's chapter? Honestly, I thought that this chapter was great. I know it was a very anticipated chapter because it's been about 6 months since we got a new chapter of Berserk, and let me just say it, it's really great to be once again in the world of Berserk and once again seeing just how Mori is taking the story forward and, you know, finishing it up, because it seems like we're wrapping things up in a, you know, in a nicely paced manner, at least in my opinion. And now I'm very excited and curious to see how the story goes from here, especially towards the end related to Guts and pretty much what's happening with the Kushan Empire as well. Now, before I go any further with this week's chapter, I just want to give you guys a quick reminder to make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you guys can be up to date with all my Berserk as well as all my anime and manga content that I'll be providing in this channel. It really helps out a lot, and I would really appreciate it if you guys could subscribe to my YouTube channel. So if you guys could, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get into this week's chapter. So this week's chapter starts off right where we left off last time, which is pretty much Rickard and the rest of the crew, you know, Serpico, Farnese, etc. You know, they're exploring the Kushan Empire, and they're all kind of like at odd because they've never seen an elephant, so they're just like, whoa, what is this creature? Like, Isidro is all freaking out, and we see that pretty much as they see they're crossing the streets, they're just like, wow, this is crazy. Like, this is like a peaceful, you know, like an everyday village, like town kind of empire kind of thing. And you see Rickard is like, hey, listen, at the end of the day, we're all humans. Like, no matter the skin of our color or what language we speak, we're still going to be people at the end of the day. So, you know, it's only fair to assume that everybody would have their own civilization similar to one another. And we see as they're, you know, traveling together, we see that eventually Farnese is like, hey, I need to do a detour. Like, I'll meet you guys at the palace. You guys do whatever you got to do. And you see that Serpico comes along with her, obviously. Also, a thing to note, we got to see Morta, my favorite witch girl. Just saying. Always a great chapter when she shows up. But what happens is pretty much they all kind of go apart, and you see that pretty much the witches, they're all like, oh, you know, be grateful that this Kushan Empire let us stay in here. You know, maybe the island and the tree and everything was taken away. However, that lives inside all of us. You know, a little bit of that, all those roots live within us, you know, so we got to spread that message across the world. And as we see pretty much you see that the chapter starts wrapping up where we see that Salat is with Roderick, and they're talking about, like, you know, what's the future. And Roderick's actually intimidated about all these skilled warriors and, you know, all these foreign land people, you know, how competent they are as combatants. And we see that they're actually going to meet up at this war council kind of thing from the other, you know, clans of the Kushan Empire. And we see this is a clan that apparently, you know, Ganishka rejected. He didn't want to do anything with it because they thought they were all chumps. So obviously then he didn't attend. And we see that this one guy, he's like the overseer of this council. You know, he's talking to Salat. It's like, hey, you know, take a seat, young prince, and all this. And as they're discussing this, we see that eventually they're talking about what to do going forward with the hawk and all that. And we see that there was also a flashback where we saw Rickard, when he was talking to Salat, and how Salat is like, we got to attack the Falcon of Light right now. So Salat is not playing around. He wants to get into a fight because he knows just the big threat that Griffith it really is. And at the end of the day, if Griffith were to attack Kushan right now, I think they're going to demolish. But it's, you know, it's a smart play to do, you know, it's preparing ahead of time, you know, for a battle, because a battle is about to ensue any moment now. And we see that as the war council meeting is happening, we see that one of them is actually kind of suspicious of Salat, because he's like, hey, why should we trust you? Like, you're just like aren't you the leader of the Bakiraka? And everybody's like, oh my god, assassins, like what? And you see that everybody's starting to distrust Salat, and that makes sense. I mean the Bakiraka were loyal to Ganishka at one point, so everybody that knows Ganishka, they know the atrocities that he did. You know, they know that he was a monster, because also Daiba, you know, he pretty much throws it all out, and he's just like, yeah, I'll let you guys know what this guy did, because one of the other Kushan people, he pretty much was vouching for Salat. It's like, listen, it doesn't matter about his past. What matters is that we have to unite our forces to take down the Falcon of Light, because that's the biggest threat here. We should not be fighting within each other. We should be fighting against the Falcon of Light, and, you know, some reason. And as that's happening, we see, like I said, Daiba starts explaining everything to, you know, the Kushan people, and you see the overseer kind of like, oh my god, what? That's insane. Like, this really happened, and he's freaking out about the whole situation. And as that's going down, you see that, you know, Salat kind of seizes his moment, and he's like, okay, this is my time to shine. And we see that Salat makes a smart play, a very risky play, some people might say, but he makes a smart play of being like, hey, I command a simpler request, overseer. He's like, what is that? He's like, please make me the general of the commander of the Kushan army, so I shall be able to control the entire army of Kushan. And you see everybody's like, how dare he? Well, what is this insolence? And it makes sense. I mean, Salat, I've always known he's like a very powerful combatant in the world of Berserk. Is he a Guts? No. Is he a Griffith? No. But he, as the human characters that have like no powers really, he is like the prime physical like state where it comes to like, you know, a fighter. Like my man was given, you know, Guts a, you know, a run for his money back in the day. So, you know, I'm very excited to see how Salat goes forward in this battle, and he's able to like hopefully take down some apostles. That'd be pretty cool. But in the serious note, we see that he's just like, yeah, become the commander, and you know, everybody's like, whoa, this is like insane, like what? And as that's happening, we also cut back to Farnese, and we see that apparently Shirake is still knocked out, you know, after, you know, she was trying to reach out to Guts in the previous chapters, you know, when she was in her astral form. Apparently she's still knocked out of it, like she's still, you know, unconscious, and Farnese is like, oh, my mistress, you shouldn't be worried. And one thing to note also is that during that meeting, one of the guys that was hating on Salat, he's like, insolence, this is like unacceptable, and you see that he starts sweating and he starts freaking out. And that's something that Farnese senses like an evil aura around the place, around the palace and why not. And that's why she's like, okay, I need to go wherever this malice is, or I have to go and get like, make sure this gets like taken care of. And you can interpret a couple of different ways, because we also see that Guts, like his mark, starts freaking out, and that's what I'm thinking she's going there for. I think she's gonna go actually talk to Guts instead of approaching this malice that she was sensing. And we see that Guts, as he's still trapped, you know, in the prison, you know, his circle starts bleeding, you know, the magical circle that Shirake put in him, or Fuller, I forget which one it was, but you know, the one that starts bleeding out. So he knows that there's like a monster, an apostle nearby, and my man is crashing the F out. My man is, you know, he looks insane. Like my man looks like the black swordsman Guts from like the beginning of the story, where he's just like, you know, edgelord. But no, he looks like I mean, it makes sense. He lost Casca, and he's going through an emotional journey. And like I said, I think he's gonna need people like Farnese, people like Rickard for sure, to calm him down and bring him back to a, you know, a stable state of mind, because right now he's not. This is not the Guts that we should be getting, in the sense that for his own well-being. This is a, you know, the beast of darkness, in other words. And I think he even knows it, because in that smile that he has, like this demented smile, I think it's like him knowing like, okay, I'm about to lose it. I'm about to break the chains. And I think he's urging for battle. And like, you know, that's my interpretation of the scene, where, you know, I'm sure that once he senses the blood, he's like, okay, finally I get to take out my stress on somebody. And that somebody is going to be Rakshas, one of Griffith's, like, you know, commanding officers from back in Falconia. Well, because we see that the guy that was sweating, the guy that was hating on Salat, this guy's actually seems to be had been possessed or something like that by Rakshas. So we see that Rakshas, you know, shows up, and he's like, oh. And that's how the chapter ends. So I'm assuming that he was there to just kill the Kushans and like just get rid of, you know, Griffith's, like, you know, dirty work. Because we do know that he was chasing after Rickard and Salat and Daiba, like right when they left Iconia. So it would only make sense that he would try to take them, like the Kushan Empire as a whole, from within. And I'm sure that, you know, will Guts fight him? I think he has to, because I don't see anybody else being able to take him out. Maybe Salat, if he, you know, showcases a new power or new technique that we haven't seen yet. That'd be pretty fascinating. Also be cool if Farnese actually takes him out. But I think, like I said, I think Farnese is going to tend to Guts right now and try to calm him down a bit. Definitely try to make sure that his circle is intact and nothing, you know, nothing's wrong, and just overseeing him, because you know, Farnese has a very strong connection with Guts, and we know that she's obviously going to tend to him in his time of need, and hopefully whatever she does, it's able to help Guts, you know, go back to, you know, the Guts that we had seen once Casca's memories came back, once, you know, once he was happy with the crew, because it's very sad seeing Guts every chapter for the last like 7 chapters just be depressed. Okay, so I can't take it, guys. I need happy Guts. All right. But with all that being said, what did you guys think about this week's chapter? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys thought it was all right? Whatever you guys thought, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, thank you so much for sticking all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more anime and manga, as well as more Berserk content in the near future. But yeah, with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.